What is up, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Home Built Workshop. Today I'm answering a question that a few of you have asked, and we're going to talk about how I produce my videos. So several of you have asked, what is my process and what equipment do I use to produce my videos? Today I'm going to answer those questions. I do almost all of my video shooting on a DSLR. The camera that I use is a Canon T4i. It's an older one now, they don't even make that model anymore, but this one works well. I know how to use it, and I'm just going to keep using it till it dies. Almost all of the shooting that I do is on automatic mode. Once in a while, if I'm having a really hard time with some lighting or something, I'll go into manual and make some adjustments that way, but probably 99% of the time, it's all done in automatic. Now, once in a while, I'll get some automatic light adjustments in the middle of a shot, but usually it's not that big a deal, or I can edit around it. For audio, I just use a camera-mounted shotgun microphone. I recently upgraded to the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which, if you're interested, I'll put a link down below in the description. It's a great camera-mounted microphone that has a lot of cool features that I'm looking forward to using. I just got the microphone and I haven't had a chance to really try it out yet. Currently, the one that you're hearing the audio from is the original Rode VideoMic. But as soon as I get a chance to try out the new one, I'll let you guys know how it works out. Now, occasionally I'll throw in an overhead shot once in a while. Not a whole lot, I don't use that too much. I just use my phone. I have it in 1080 video mode. This is a Samsung Galaxy S7. I have it mounted up above on a little flexible clip that allows me to zoom it around and pan it wherever I need it to go. It's just a little homemade mount that works pretty well. It just utilizes the pocket clip that goes with this OtterBox that I have it in. And one of the reasons that I don't often use the second camera angle is due to the video editing software that I use. It is really tricky to edit. It does not support the multi-camera angle, so it's really kind of tricky to get all your clips in order and to edit and switch between all the different camera angles. Speaking of software, I'm using Sony Vegas Movie Studio version 11. It's an older one, it's several years old, and that is the reason that I have trouble using the multicam, because multicam wasn't really that big when this version came out. Also, it's really tricky to do 4K. A couple of times I've not switched my phone from 4K to 1080, and I've tried to edit the 4K clips using that older version of Vegas, and it does not appreciate that. I shoot all of my video in 1080. I don't use 4K on the phone, and I don't use anything lower than 1080. It's all 1080p at 30 frames a second. And I render it out from Vegas using the same settings. While I'm editing, I don't do a whole lot with transitions or effects or anything like that. Once in a while, I have to adjust an audio clip if it's super loud or super low. But overall, the audio in the clips is straight from the camera. I don't do color correction hardly ever. Once in a while, I may need to tweak a clip just to make something match up, maybe a shadow or something cause the clip to be a little dark or whatever, but most of the time it's right out of the camera, native video and native audio. I don't do any post-production tricks or anything like that. I also don't do much with transitions or any kind of automation or panning in the software. I just kind of go from clip to clip to clip to clip, and makes it a lot quicker editing. Some of the transitions are kind of cool, but for my style, the way I like the videos to look, if I just cut from clip to clip, it's a lot easier and it looks fine. It looks the way I want it to look. Once I get through a video in the editing process, I'll go back through and watch it in its entirety right there before I render it, and that way I can make any more adjustments or cut out any material that I maybe don't need. I find a lot of times when I'm putting it together, there's clips that I really like, but after you do a 10 or 15 minute video, all those little extra pieces that you like kind of make it a lot longer. And I don't mind having it a little bit longer, 10, 15 minutes, but if it's full of just extra little pieces, sometimes it gets a little unnecessary. So once I get that first video completed, I go back through and I watch it, and then I cut out anything that I try to shorten it up a little bit more. Then I render it out in 1080, and then I watch it again from that file, because there's been times where even though I just previewed it before rendering, that maybe there's a clip or a blank space or something in there that I missed. So I always watch it at least twice before I upload it to YouTube. Once I'm happy with the final result, I just hit the upload button to my channel. I always upload it private first so that it can upload and process, and then I can go in and do the tags and description and all that sort of thing. I don't want the video to immediately go live and then I have to try to hurry up and get those little details ironed out. I really can't speak for anybody else, but I would imagine that most people upload it to private. That way they can do all of the behind the scenes data, the description and all of that before the video goes live. As far as making the video live, sometimes I'll schedule it if I have everything done ahead of time and I know when I want the video to be posted. YouTube has that feature that allows you to schedule when a video goes live. Sometimes I'll use that if I know I want it to come out next Saturday and I've got everything done. But a lot of times, once I finish editing the tags and all of that, I'm usually right up to the deadline and I just hit that live button, as long as it's on the day that I intend to release the video. But sometimes I do use that schedule the video feature. Once I have the video up and everything is there and I can get that link, then I head over to my website, which is homebuiltworkshop.com, and I create a new page, a new post that tells a little description about the video and just a really short write-up, and also includes a link to the video and sometimes an extra picture or two. I really don't spend a ton of time on the website post for the video, but I do include one for every single project video that I release. I think it would be nice if I could take the time and take pictures along the way and do a really nice write-up for every single project, but currently right now I just don't have the time to do that. It's hard enough to get the projects done, the video edited, everything uploaded. Just writing a longer post with detailed pictures and instructions would just take a little more time than what I have right now. Hopefully in the future I can move to doing a longer website write-up. It's something I would like to be able to do, but like I said, right now I just don't have the time to do that long write-up. So let me back up just a second and talk about when I'm filming a project. I kind of skipped over that and I want to go back and make sure I touch on my process for shooting the video. I try to only shoot the steps of me doing something and not me taking 10 minutes to set up a cut or to set up an angle or to figure out the math or something like that. I try to, if I'm making cuts, if I'm drilling holes, something like that is all I try to shoot. Once in a while I have some extra stuff in there, but that gets all cut out in the editing process. I don't do a whole lot of voiceover, so I try to plan out when I'm talking and also what I might want to say that I can use as a voiceover. But most of my voiceover stuff is just done me talking to the camera. It's taken from a clip, and sometimes I'll just turn the camera on, I won't even focus it, I'll just hit record, stand in front of it, and say what I want to say. The thing that I like about doing it that way is the audio is always the same. It's always recorded from the same microphone onto the camera, and it follows the same process as all the other audio. If I do a voiceover at the computer, I'm usually using a studio condenser mic, and it sounds a lot clearer, crisper, but when compared to the audio from the camera, it's really different. So in order to keep everything the same, that continuity, I try to use all my audio and all my voiceover right from the camera. Once I have the project complete is typically when I'll do the intro and the outro for the videos, because a lot of times I want to show off whatever it is I'm working in that first little intro clip for each video, then I can put it all together in editing. I hope this short video kind of answers some of your questions, kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to my process and kind of how I do things. A couple of things that I can see me upgrading in the near future as far as processes or equipment. I'm sure at some point this camera is going to die and then I'll upgrade the camera. Some people have asked, how do I keep sawdust out of the camera? How do I keep, everything from getting all crusty? I don't do anything different. If I'm making a cut, if I'm sanding, there's dust flying, the camera's right there. I don't have it shielded or anything. I do have a UV lens on the front that kind of helps protect the front of the lens. Speaking of lenses, I am just using the kit lens. I believe it's an 18 to 135 Canon kit lens. Came with the camera. I've just got that UV filter on there. I also have a 50mm lens that I use once in a while. I really like that lens, but I've got to have the camera back so far. It makes it kind of hard to get the shots that I want to get, so I find that it's a lot easier if I just use this zoom lens. That way I can pretty much have the camera anywhere and zoom it in to the shot that I need. So I can see me having to upgrade the camera at some point. I don't know. Could be this year, could be 3 years from now. Who knows? As long as it's kicking, I'm going to keep using it. The microphone, like I mentioned, I just got that Rode VideoMic Pro, so I will be using that in the future. Probably need to get a new tripod at some point. This one is not a very expensive one. It's getting kind of loose and wobbly. Probably gonna need to upgrade that. Also, I believe I'm gonna need to upgrade my video software. This old version of Vegas that I'm using works for what I'm doing, but as things transition more to 4K, and I do want to do some multicam stuff, it'll just be a lot easier if I upgrade to the newer version that supports those features. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. My fairly simple video editing and production process. You guys, if you have any other questions or there's something that I didn't answer, please leave a comment down below and I guarantee you I will answer those questions as best I can. So don't forget, you'll find links to my social media down below in the description, as well as links to my website, homebuiltworkshop.com. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.